Hey there, aspiring guitarists. This week's chord progression is just two chords. And I know some people were dreading it because I said we're going to go from an E to an F, and I mentioned a bar chord. And every time you mention an F chord in guitar, everybody freaks out. But we're going to take this little two chord progression and we're going to learn a lot from it. We're also going to learn how to make a bar chord easier. Most people start out trying to make that F chord here. They have a real hard time pushing. They can't get the fingers. The alternative is to make a bar chord F. But a lot of people have a hard time. The nut, the tension up here at the nut is a lot greater to press down than as you move down the fretboard toward the body. So we're going to make an open E, and then we're going to drop down and make an F bar chord. But here's what we're going to notice. Watch it come back up on my fret light. In fact, let me stop it. Bear with me a second. There. Okay, there's that E. And it's just an E like we've all been taught to make. Normally, we learn it the first time using the first finger, but we're not going to make it that way because we're going to move to a bar chord. So we're going to make it using the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky finger. So we're going to lay the middle finger on the first fret, see the light? On the very first fret, third string, which is the G string. Then we're going to take the ring finger on the second fret. You know where I'm going. See, I'm going to that dot up there. So we're going to take the ring finger. We're going to go to the second fret, fifth string. And then we're going to take the pinky, and I'll get to it. And then we're going to go to the second fret, fourth string. That's the reason, another reason I've been trying to show y'all how to make chords a different way. Instead of just making the E chord this way, like so many of us were taught using the first finger, we're going to make it this way. And what that's going to allow us to do, it's going to allow us as we slide down to the fifth fret to get the A, and I'll talk about that. We're just going to slide. But we've got that exact same E shape. Watch, I'm going to move to the next one. I'm going to show you here. Hold on. Let me get it where you can see we're on the E. Okay, and now we've slid down to the A. Why is it an A? Well, remember when we learned elephants and donkeys grow big ears? And the very first thing we did was we took the musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, repeat. Well, all we're doing is we're moving to the musical alphabet, starting with E, this open E string. So when you pluck the E, you get an E. The next note, E to F, is a half step. Remember, half steps are E to F, B to C. That'll make sense later if you hadn't seen that lesson, but it will. Each fret is a half step. 2 frets is a whole step. And I've got other things on that. Just stay with me a second. This is why we're sliding from an open chord E to a bar chord A. And here we go. So you got E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Now I can keep going, and I would, after the A, you get an A sharp, then you get a B. Then you'd have that half step, B to C. I do that all the time. If that doesn't make sense to you, look at some of my other videos. It will. Let me do it real fast. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B to C. C's there on the 8th fret. So when you're coming down. So we have an open E chord. And remember, when you make a bar chord, all you're doing is moving the nut, the white piece, where the strings cross from the neck to the headstock and on to the tuners. So all you're doing with a bar chord is moving the nut. Well, when you move the nut, you're changing notes and chords. So just like we did E, F, F sharp, G, E, F, F sharp, G. I'm just sliding. That's all. I've kept my E shape. My E shape is still there. Let's do that again. We've made the E. We throw down the bar. We slide one fret and we drop the bar. I'm going to explain why this bar is going to be easier than your first attempt at a bar chord too. Stay with me, please. Open chord E. Throw down the bar. We kept the E shape. All we did was move. We just slid everything a half, one fret. That's all we did, one fret. F, F sharp, G on the 3rd fret, G sharp on the 4th to A on the 5th. And if I move my hands, you'll see the fret light has lit up those notes. There you go. So, why am I doing this? What good does this help you with an F? What good does this help you to make that infamous, terrible, dreaded F chord? Well, when you try to press down up here by the nut for a regular F, the one we were all taught and hate so profusely, many of the guitar teachers will tell you to make an F like that. I just turned off the fret light. We'll get back to that in a second. Let me link that back up. There we go. Okay, so many instructors will tell you they'll even tell you to put a capo. And the capo, like down here on the 5th fret, and then make the F here. And the reason they'll tell you that, it's not as hard to press down here on these strings. But it's really hard to press down up here by the nut. So we're going to take an E form using not the first finger. We're going to leave this first finger loose because it's going to become the bar. And we're just going to slide. Now, what are you trying to slide? You're trying to slide this finger. You want this bar finger to wind up on the 5th fret while you are keeping your E shape. Just like that. We've still got the E shape. All we did was we slid to there. You're going to find out that bar chord is a lot easier to make down here on the 5th fret. So this is going to help us in so many ways because you're going to learn that it helps with an acoustic guitar, but you're going to learn if you've got an electric guitar like this one, that there is an awful lot of rhythm playing. E to A using an F bar chord shape. Now I might have confused you there a little bit. I threw that F out there on purpose. You are making an F type bar chord, but you are sliding it down to the 5th fret, which turns it into an A. Let's review that again. You're going to start with an E, except we're not going to root down the first finger. We're using, once again, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. And then we're just going to slide that baby, and we're going to put everything down. We're going to keep this E shape. And what we're looking to place is the bar. So that's what's going on. So let me try this again. There we go. All right, so that's why the EF can help you so much. It helps with rhythm. It's a chord progression that uses an open chord E with an easy quick slide down to an A using an F type bar chord that's been slid down to the fifth fret. E to A, E to A, back to E. So, you're going to wind up with just the, once again, I don't have this plugged in. And you can add things, you can stop. Look, here you are with your E. You got your finger ready to lay down that bar down here on the fifth. So, but coming back up, you can stop on the third fret. So you can get a little fun out of this progression too while you're learning the bar chord, while you're learning to move up and down the neck. E to F, two chords, but we're getting double dosage duty out of this because we're also learning a bar chord. We're getting past making that F bar chord up here on the first fret with the bar on the first fret, which is so hard to push, and you've had to do everything from turn the hand to push to move it to this to drop the shape down for everything. I know that F chord drives people crazy. An electric guitar will be easier to do bar chords for the most part. I've actually seen acoustics have come a long way with the action and the tension and how hard they are to press. Some are very hard, but electrics for the most part are easier to push down, especially for a bar chord. That's why you see so many rhythm rock guitarists, using an electric guitar to play bar chords and move up and down the neck. E to A using an F type bar chord slid to the fifth fret, which becomes an A. If it was up here on the first fret, it'd be an F. Third fret, it'd be a G. Fifth fret, it's an A. And then we go back to the E open chord. E to A. E to A. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. If you got questions, don't get frustrated. Slow the video down. Think about what you're doing. It's just an open E chord, but we just played it differently. We just left this instead of using this for the E. We started with these three fingers because we're going to use that to lay down the bar on the fifth fret and keep that E shape. So I hope that helps. It will help you with the bar chord. And you can try the other tricks. You can put a capo down and practice a bar chord on an acoustic. That just takes practice. Practice makes perfect. The famous rock, blues, jazz singers, chords are important. Progressions are important because you're learning to move from chord to chord, and that's how you make songs. That's how you make music. That's how you create. That's how you improvise. I hope your guitar journey is blessed always, and remember, most of all, happy picking.